So I'm testing my mic to see if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Miss Tansy? Okay, people are still coming in, so. Okay, I'll start to introduce myself. Let me turn on my camera. Okay, hi everybody. My name is John Chan. Good afternoon. I'm from Freeport. I'm not a Bahamian. I'm Guyanese, but I came to the Bahamas at 9 months of age, to a place called Waterkey. I don't know if a lot of people know it's off East End. But that's where I grew up for about 5 years, and then I moved to Freeport, where I went to Walter Parker until 2010 when I graduated, and then I went to Sunland, and I graduated from there as well. So, wait, everybody can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So yes, I noticed that, or I got the news from a friend that I graduated high school with, that the BJCs and the BGCSEs are early, and you guys barely had time to prepare, and so he asked if I could join him in helping somehow the students in tutoring and stuff, because he's studying medicine, or he's about to study medicine, either at UE or some college in or some university in the States, and I'm studying medicine here in Barbados, still in the Caribbean. So we both like science, so we offered to help with science subjects. Like, he's doing biology, I'll do health science. So that's why we are helping, because we have this urgency to give back to where we came from, and so we hope that we will be able to help you guys. Once again, my name is John Chan. My name is there, and I'm from Freeport. So yes, let's get started. If I ask questions, you guys would be able to verbally answer. I hope so. So we'll go through a 2014 BJC Health Science past paper, paper 1. So if you guys can access it, I'll also share my screen, and you'll be able to see the questions, and I'll try as best as possible to go thoroughly through the question, to make sure that there's no question about it. So I'll share my screen now, and you'll be able to see my screen and see the questions. But if you can access a 2014, let me put it in the chat. The 2014 paper 1. Yeah. Okay, I'll turn my video off now, and I'll share the screen. You guys can see my screen? If you can, please let me know you can't, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You guys see the questions, so okay, good. Okay. So here's the first question. Oh, sorry. By the way, I would like to pray before we start because I'm a Christian and I believe that God helps. Well, the Bible says study to show yourself approved. So obviously we have to study and not only, pray, but I'd like to pray. If you can bow your head where you are, I'll pray. So God, I thank you for bringing us to this occasion where we could learn health science and learn this subject, and I pray that your help would be with me and with them to teach and to learn. By the power of your Holy Spirit, thank you, Lord, for helping as we study. In Jesus' name, amen. Right, so the link for the paper 1 2014 Health Science is inside of the chat. All right, so first question. Which structures in the human body are made up of different tissues combined to carry out a specific function? One second.
Only
Anybody know what? Okay, so there's like a hierarchy or there's an organization, and I'll give you the first answer. It's an organization of an organism. So first you start with cells. Does anybody know what comes after cells? I heard somebody say it. Somebody said tissues. So a group of cells make up tissues. And a group of tissues would make up what? Organs. And a group of organs would make up what? Can anybody say what a group of organs would make up? Organ system. And then lastly, an organism. So good. So the question is which structures in the human body. If you all would like to take notes in your books, it would be a good idea too, because a lot of times we remember, we take notes. Right, so cells, tissues, organs, organ system, organism. First thing is cells. The smallest thing is cells. The largest thing is the organism. So which structure in the human body are made up of different tissues combined to carry out specific functions? The answer would be where's the draw? The answer would be organs. Next one. So that's the answer for number 1 is B. Number 2. A sprain is caused by a torn or stretched ligament. The injury occurs in which of the following body systems? If anybody want to say the answer, they could go ahead.
is it skeletal?
Skeletal system, right. So the question is, a sprain is caused by a torn or stretched ligament. Anybody know what a ligament is or what it does?
It connects two bones
together.
Connects connects what?
It connects bone to bone.
Right. So ligament is bone to bone. Anybody know what a tendon does?
Tendon is a muscle. I think it connects the muscle to the bone. I think so.
Yes, that's correct. So your calf muscle, you all know where your calf muscle is? Is that nice looking muscle at the back of your leg. From your knee to your ankle, the muscle behind that portion of your leg is your calf muscle. That muscle is connected to your heel by something called an Achilles tendon. That's normally a very easily or an ordinarily pulled or torn tendon in like basketball and like soccer and track and stuff, and that's very painful. So a ligament is bone to bone, and a tendon is muscle to bone. Okay, good. So that would be the skeleton system. So 1 is B, 2 is D. Now, in the human body, sense organs contain cells that are sensitive to stimuli. Which sense organ contains heat sensitive cells? Ear, eye, nose, or skin?
Nose.
Nose?
Skin.
Oh, skin, heat. Air. Could your air sense heat? No, your air senses sound. Does your eye sense heat? No, it senses light. If your eye could sense heat, that means you would be able to see through walls. That's what infrared sight is. So no, your eyes can't sense heat. If your nose could sense heat, no, smell. So it's skin. So the answer for number 3 is skin. Make sure you're all writing these down. Going over past papers is probably the best way to revise, especially at the end. So the answer for number 3 is D. The diagram below represents a human cheek cell. Ordinary cell. Which row in the table gives the correct name for each part of the cheek cell? What is P?
The cell membrane.
What is R?
The nucleus.
Nucleus. And Q is?
Cytoplasm.
Right. So which one of these answers all of those? Starting with P. Cell membrane. So what is the answer?
C.
Thank you. Which branch of science has health rules to keep the body and the environment healthy? Anatomy, biology, hygiene, physiology. Oh, anatomy. Anatomy is the study of the parts of the body. So it can't be that. Physiology comes after anatomy. Physiology is what the parts of the body do, so their function. So it can't be that. We're dealing with keeping the body and the environment healthy. Hygiene is how you keep yourself clean. So that would be like dental hygiene would be brushing and flossing. Body hygiene would be showering, bathing, deodorant, lotion, and stuff like that. So that only focusing on yourself. But biology, which is the study of life, has to deal with both the body and the environment. because life isn't just you, it's you and the animals and the environment and the plants and all of life. So the answer for this is everybody get that? B is the answer for number 5. Which of the following is more likely to cause an unhealthy condition in the human body? A balanced diet. That doesn't make any sense. Growth. Can growth cause an unhealthy condition in the human body? If you want to be very, very technical, it probably could. Lack of exercise. Could lack of exercise cause an unhealthy condition in the human body? If you want to be very, specific, it probably could as well. Here is the most general answer of them all: pathogens. Anybody know what a pathogen is?
A disease causing aging.
Aging. A disease. You're right. Just it's not aging. Agent. So it is a disease causing agent. Anybody know what kind of pathogens there are? If you could give me 3 general pathogens.
Bacteria, virus, fungi.
Wow, nice. You could give me you could give me one more. Start with a P.
Protista.
That's not the one I was looking for, but sure. Parasite. Okay. So the answer. How do I use this? Okay. So the answer is pathogens here. Which of the following is more likely? You can read the question properly and you get the answer. So a pathogen. Anybody know what is on a pathogen?
Antigens.
Way to go. Nice. So when your body fights against a pathogen, they have to produce what?
Antibodies.
Right. That person might possibly be a doctor. So we go over that one more time. A pathogen can enter the body and cause harm. On pathogens are antigens. And that is how the body recognizes a pathogen. So they would produce antibodies to destroy the pathogen. They would latch on to the antigen and destroy the body. Next question. A normal human body temperature is recorded. Which are the correct body temperature?
$98.
98.6. Right. So the answer is C. Okay, I was looking for the draw tool. Let me just go back to number 6. If this is a pathogen, this thing right here would be the antigen. So at the top, anti. And at the bottom here is the pathogen. Okay, that was a terrible drawing. I wish I had an iPad to do this, but I don't. So yeah, it's 98. For number 7, a normal human body temperature is recorded. Which of the following is the correct body temperature? Is C, 98. And in Celsius, this is Fahrenheit, 98.6 in Fahrenheit. And in Celsius, anybody know? 37 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, sorry, 37 degrees Celsius. Just a reminder. So it's 98.6 and 37 in Celsius. Anybody know that if this goes above 99, what would you call that?
Fever.
Right. And if it goes below, what do you call that?
Hypothermia.
Whoa. I wasn't expecting that. This is health science?
Yeah, that's
They
health
teach-
science.
They teach that in health science?
No, tell them, your mommy teach you.
My mommy teach me that.
Oh, wow. Your mommy is either a nurse or a doctor, a very knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Which of the following organs is located in the cranium? Cranium is the dance hall line. Which of the following organs is located in the cranium?
A.
The cranium.
D.
A,
D, my man.
oh, sorry. Okay, so A is what?
The lungs.
Right, one lung. What is B?
Stomach.
Whoever mommy telling them their answers, just remember the answers when your mommy telling you. Okay, I'm trying to draw a human. So what cavity is at the top here?
Cranial cavity.
And what cavity is here?
Abdominal.
Thorax.
Okay, so up here would be thoracic. And below here would be abdominal. So here's a question for a person with a lot of knowledge. What would this line be? What separates the thorax and the abdomen?
Diaphragm.
Whoa. Okay, I didn't learn these things in health science, so you guys are smart. So in A is the lungs. Where would A be?
Thoracic cavity.
Right. B is the stomach. Where would the stomach be?
Abdominal.
C is the,
Thoracic cavity.
and D is the answer to this question. It would be
Cavity.
cranial cavity. Nice. So which one of these organs is located in the cranium? D. And next question. What is the function of synovial fluid?
To lubricate the joints in the skeleton.
Okay. So the answer for number 9 is A. It lubricates the joints in the skeleton. What cushions the fetus in the womb?
Is
Sac.
is it the
Sac.
amniotic sac?
It is the amniotic sac.
Cartilage.
But no, not cartilage. Not this time. So yes, you're close when you say the amniotic sac. But what is inside of the placenta? No, that doesn't cushion the fetus. There's a fluid that cushions the fetus within the amniotic sac.
Amniotic fluid.
There you go. Moistens the eyeball in the socket. That easy. What's the answer to that? Tears. Protects the brain and the skull. The meninges. Okay, that's different. Okay, so the answer for number 9 is A. What's function of synovial fluid? It's 6:04. We're supposed to stop at 6:30. So Are we going fast or slow? Because we only on number 10. We have 30 more questions to go. Anyway, what kind of injury is shown in this diagram?
A fracture.
Way to go. New voice. Thank you. So the answer for number 10 would be C. It's not a strain. There's an obvious broken bone there. So it's a fracture. Which of these is a contagious disease? Asthma, diabetes, hypertension.
D.
D?
I think it's
Tuberculosis.
hypertension.
Anybody know what hypertension is?
High blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
Right. It is. You know what another name for that condition, high blood pressure, is? It's like the street name for it. Anybody knows? I don't mean to say street name, but they call it a certain thing.
Sugar.
Say it again.
Sugar.
No, that's diabetes. The street name for diabetes is sugar. Well, the Bahamian name. But the street name for hypertension is the silent killer.
That's medical.
It's called the silent killer because it barely has any symptoms. It just, sneaks up on you. Asthma is that's not contagious. Diabetes not contagious. TB, tuberculosis. So the answer for number 11 is D. I think somebody's put in the answers in the chat, so that's a good thing. Make sure you all get these answers, so because when you come back, you can just easily go over it. The diagram, number 12, the diagram represents the human backbone.
Hi.
Which structure is protected by these bones?
The spinal cord.
So
C.
C. Number 12 answer is C, spinal cord. It's not the lungs. What protects the lungs?
Okay.
Way to go. What protects the brain? Cranium. Way to go. What in the world? Villi? Where is the villi?
Small intestines.
Oh my. Okay then, doctor. What is the name? Okay, before I go to the next question, what else does the rib cage protect?
The heart.
The heart.
The heart and the lungs. Nice. What is the name of an individual bone found in the backbone?
Vertebrae.
Vertebrae or vertebra. Anyone. Metacarpal is where?
Fingers, by the fingers.
Right. Okay, good. The radius is where?
Run your wrist. The wrist?
Mommy?
No, that's my mom.
Oh, okay. So y'all know how to tell the difference between the radius and the ulna?
Yes, the pinky finger is it tells you that the bone is smaller on one side, and the thumb is the bigger bone. That's how I said it.
So let's say that what I just draw there, that poor example of a drawing, is a hand. You see the pinky over here, right? This is the ring finger. This is the middle finger. Not a pleasant finger to stand alone. This is the index finger, and this is the thumb. On the side of the thumb is which bone?
Radius.
Yeah. Nope. And on the side of the pinky,
Oh no.
really ulna. Please, you all remember that. I think I had to remember that a long time ago, so remember that. So on the side of the thumb is your radius. On the side of your pinky is the ulna. So the answer for number 13 is D, vertebra. All right, what is the difference between the total number of temporary teeth and the total number of permanent teeth in humans? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a math question in the health science BJC. They're asking for the difference. So they're asking you for the difference. That means they're asking you for two other numbers. So how many permanent teeth are there?
32 permanent teeth.
32 permanent teeth. How many temporary or milk teeth are there?
20.
So remember, whoever don't know, write it down. Permanent, 32. Temporary, 20. So they're asking for the difference of these two. What would the answer be? 32 take away 20.
12.
Well,
There you go. So C. The answer for number 14 is C. A reminder again. Write these down. All right.
Sorry, I came late. What year past paper are you on?
2014.
Thank you.
6 years ago. You're welcome. The diagram shows the internal structure of a tooth. Questions 15 and 16 are based on the diagram. Can anybody tell me what kind of tooth that is?
Wisdom.
Well, it could be a wisdom tooth.
The molar.
Why is it a molar?
crown is flat.
The crown is flat, and what else?
It
Sorry,
has 3 roots.
last name, yeah, 3 roots. So a premolar would have 2 roots or 1 root. Somebody drawing a basketball on the paper. Y'all undo your basketball. If somebody drawing something on the screen, y'all can undo that, please. And wait. So the answer, sorry. I'll remove this red drawing, please. Thanks. The question is, which letter points to the dentine?
B.
What is L?
Crown.
What is the crown made of?
Enamel.
An M. What is what?
Cream.
No, Nick. Not a load of manure.
Enamel.
Yeah, M is the dentine. L is enamel. And N is pulp. And O is the root. So what is the answer? Which letter points to the dentine? The answer for 15 would be B, which is M. What is the strongest substance in the body?
Enamel.
Wow. What is the longest bone in the body?
Femur.
What is the smallest bones in the body? What are the smallest bones in the body?
The finger bones.
Ossicles.
Metatarsals.
Ossicles.
Whoever's saying ossicles is correct. So the incus, malleus, and stapes, they belong inside the ear. So the longest bone in the body is the femur. That's in the thigh. That's also the strongest bone. It could take the most weight. And the smallest ones are in the ear. So remember, the answer for 15 is B, M. M is the dentine. Which type of tooth is shown in the diagram? I asked that already.
D. Molar.
molar, right? Why is it a molar again?
It has
Because
a
it has a flat root crown and it has 3 roots.
Good. Which row in the table gives the correct information about food nutrient? A. Carbohydrates produce production of protoplasm. B. Fats manufacture of enzymes and hormones. C. Proteins are for growth and repair of body tissues, and vitamins that release energy. Somebody
C.
still writing on this
B
paper.
and D.
Why is it talking? Oh, right on the thing later.
Benita, you waste that.
Yeah.
Can't even see the paper properly.
You waste now.
Right, so y'all send in y'all answers.
So
What
what's
would the answer for this be?
C and D? Which row? Okay.
See,
Proteins is protein repair.
I think we might have to take the annotation ability away. Because somebody keeps drawing on the
Yeah, change the setting.
screen.
I can see it.
All right, so what's the answer here? B looks close like the answer, but for your level, the answer would be C. Protein is for growth and repair. So remember C. C is for 17. 18. Why is fiber more important in diet?
Because it prevents constipation.
Oh my gosh.
It
The
prevents
question is good. So 18 is why is fiber important in the diet? And the answer is D. It prevents constipation. What is the opposite of constipation?
Diarrhea.
Yes, diarrhea.
Good. Here's an extra question. What does diarrhea cause? Start with a D.
Dehydration.
Dehydration. So back to the question number 18. Why is fiber important in the diet? It prevents constipation. It helps the food to pass better. So fiber would be stuff like salad,
Person needs this.
green leaf.
Dehydration.
Yeah.
Andrea Griffin, you have raised your hand. I'm sorry. Whoever raised their hand before, I did not see. I wasn't looking over there. Andrea Griffin, if you have a question, you can ask.
My bad.
All right. Bye. Okay, so number 18 again. It is D, prevents constipation. The drawing shows some, oh, here's a kind of confusing question. The drawing shows some of the structures that make up the human digestive system. Use the diagram to help you answer questions 19 and 20.
Which point? What letter point?
Where Peristalsis takes food. It's like that. Yes.
Okay, first of all, what is P?
Esophagus.
Esophagus,
What is Q?
liver,
Liver.
What is T?
stomach.
Haha,
Oh no,
gotcha.
small intestine.
What is S?
Large intestine.
Large
The large
intestine.
Also called what?
Colon.
Yeah.
What is the small intestine also called?
Non-colon.
Non-colon. Ileum.
Ileum.
And R would be the
Stomach.
stomach. Right. They didn't label that little leaf-looking thing. What is that little leaf-looking thing?
The bowel.
Gallbladder. Pancreas.
The pancreas.
Yeah, so to the left of that would be the gallbladder. This
Yeah,
right here.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could annotate. So right here is the gallbladder. This is the pancreas. What does the pancreas do?
Store
The length.
So they secrete insulin and something named glucagon. Insulin is to bring sugar levels up or down.
Down.
And glucagon is to do what?
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Bring it up. Okay, so the question. Which letters point to the part of the system where peristalsis takes place? Let's hear the answer. It's definitely not Q, and it's just definitely not Q. That's the only one that they have that it's definitely not. Food does not pass through the liver. Food does not pass through the gallbladder, and food does not pass through the pancreas.
R, S, and T.
Yeah.
Peristalsis. Which letters point to the parts of the system where peristalsis? What is peristalsis?
The movement of the food. Right.
Right, so it's muscular
R.
contraction along the alimentary canal
Oh.
that pushes food along the alimentary canal. What is another name for alimentary canal?
Digestive system. Gut.
Let's be more specific, not system.
Digestive tract.
There you go. Track. So the answer here, which letters point to the parts of the system where peristalsis takes place? That would be P, R, and T. P, R, S, and T. P, R, S, and T. Yeah. So go with D. And number 19 is D. Which structure produces gastric juice and hydrochloric acid?
The stomach. Q.
Q.
R.
R. What is hydrochloric acid?
Breaks down food.
Okay, so the answer to that question, what is hydrochloric acid, would be it's an acid. And the function of hydrochloric acid would be to break down food. Also, to kill germs from the food so it doesn't harm the body. So for number 20, the answer is whatever is R. So the answer would be C. And for number 19, the answer would be D. All right. The process occurring in the digestive system allows feces to pass out of the body.
What's that?
Would be, first of all, what is assimilation? Anybody?
No.
Nobody? Assimilation is the absorption of food or water. So food is absorbed in the small intestine, and water is absorbed where?
Large intestines.
Large intestine.
Also known as
Colon.
Colon.
and digestion. What is digestion?
The process of
Breaking down food.
Right, into smaller particles. Question, what is the purpose of chewing?
To break it down smaller to make it easier to
So
swallow.
I'll break down the food.
Make it easier
Right.
to swallow.
Easier to swallow and easier for the enzymes in your stomach and small intestine to work. So in the scientific, like if you were to give a very scientific answer, they would say you chew food to increase what? 2 words. You chew food to increase. Start with S. That's why you chew food, to increase surface area, so the enzymes could work on it. All right. So the answer for this, which process occurring in the digestive system allows feces to pass out of the body? What is the answer?
C.
C, egestion. Ingestion is the opposite. That's where you put it in. Can anybody tell me what is that last structure that food exits or feces exit the body? What is it known as?
The anus.
Yeah, it's the anus. Just before that is the rectum. Anus. Tongue. The diagram shows the tongue. Which area detects bitter taste?
A.
That's a better taste. Yeah.
We agree on
A.
A? Okay, what is B? What does that part of the tongue detect?
Salt.
Yeah, I believe that's salt. I have a diagram here. So y'all can see that tongue? So the back is bitter. On the sides is sour. All around here. Y'all can see this tongue that I'm showing you?
No.
Y'all can't see my screen?
No.
Nobody can see my screen?
I could see it.
Okay, so sweet is at just before the tip at the front. Salty is that whole border around here. And like you guys said, bitter is at the back and sour are on the sides. Make sure to take another look at this tongue. All right, back to this. Y'all can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Next question. Wow, that's weird. I'm only 21. Anyway, which eye disease causes the lens to become cloudy or milky?
Cataract.
A.
Yeah.
Cataract. Nice. Cataract is the answer. Glaucoma is something like that. Anybody knows what could cause cataract? Starts with a D and ends with EDs. You need insulin for it. You hear me, and word is sugar.
Diabetes.
Diabetes could cause cataract. Right. Now, Jerry has a soft, deformed bone. Oh, poor Jerry. What is the name of the disease caused by this condition?
Rickets.
Rickets.
If he had goiter, what would he look like?
You have a
neck.
He would have what?
swelling in
The
a
enlargement of neck.
Right. Does anybody know what exactly is swelling in his neck?
The
thyroid
thyroid.
gland.
Way to go. But by any chance, any of you want to be like a doctor or work in the medical profession?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. Good luck. No, I'm kidding. You'll do well once you work hard. Right. I don't know how we would be able to see if he had night blindness from this picture, but the answer is rickets. So C. The answer for 24 is C. Scurvy is what kind of disease on which organ of the body?
In the gums.
Yeah.
Lack of vitamins.
Yeah. What is the largest organ belonging to the body?
The skin.
Wow. What is the largest organ inside the body?
The liver.
Liver.
Nice. What is the largest gland in the body? They won't teach you that.
Pituitary gland.
It's the smallest gland in the body.
Pineal.
That's probably those two run in competition for the smallest gland in the body. The largest is the liver again. By the way, what is the other name for the pituitary gland now that you mentioned it?
Master gland.
There you go. Oh. Okay, so the answer for this is rickets, which is C. 25. Which of the following may occur if you cut your skin and bacteria gets into the wound? Bacteria is what? What did we say about?
Infection.
Infection.
Yeah, earlier in this session, what did we call bacteria? Or
Fungus.
or
Bacteria.
bacteria. What is
Pathogen.
bacteria? A pathogen.
Pathogen.
Right. What is another pathogen of?
Virus.
Yeah, virus, fungus. Good. And what is
Parasite.
on a pathogen again?
Antigen.
Antigens.
Right. And so what do the body produce to fight these pathogens?
Antibodies.
Antibodies.
Way to go. Which row in the table? So the answer for 25 is infection. There was a guy's voice that I was hearing earlier. I hope you're still there. You're letting these girls out talk to you. Don't worry. Just make sure you're getting all the answers. Girls are smarter than boys anyway. It's argumentable. That's arguable. Anyway, which row in the table correctly shows the blood group of a person that can be given to any other person during a blood transfusion?
C.
Blood group
So that
A.
would be O. O is called the what?
C.
Universal donor.
Donor. Right. So O, blood group O, is the universal donor. Why would you have to give somebody blood?
Because they might have lost some.
Yeah, they could have suffered from something hemorrhage. They would have lost a lot. How many blood is in the human body? I mean, how much blood is in the human body?
5 to 7 pints.
In terms of pints, yeah. So 5 liters. So the answer for number 26 is
C.
C. Write that down. What is the function of the platelets found in the body? I mean, in the blood.
D.
What is the function of the platelets found in the blood? Everybody is saying D, to stop bleeding. What is that called?
Clotting, blood clotting.
Good. Blood clotting. Don't say that around a Jamaican. So, what does A, to carry oxygen, what does that?
Red blood cells.
Red blood cells.
Okay, good. Do red blood cells have a nucleus?
No.
No.
Why don't they have a nucleus?
So it can pass through the bloodstream.
They don't have a nucleus. So their function of carrying oxygen. So they don't have a nucleus because it takes up space, and you need all that space to carry oxygen. What in the red blood cells attaches to the oxygen?
Hemoglobin.
Hemoglobin, yeah.
Nice. What is one dietary substance that is
Iron.
good? Wow. Okay then. That's the answer. So 28. The answer for 27 is D. Stop bleeding. It's called clotting. 28.
Artery.
Why?
Elastic.
Elastic fibers. Right, so 28 is the diagram shows a cross section through the blood vessel. What type of blood vessel is shown? It's an artery because of the elastic fibers. Arteries carry what kind of blood?
Oxygenated blood.
And at what kind of pressure?
High.
Good. When is the one time that an artery doesn't carry oxygenated blood?
In the lungs.
To the lungs is a better answer. So that would be the pulmonary artery. They are the only arteries that carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs. And that's the only time a vein carries oxygenated blood, which would be the pulmonary veins. They would bring oxygenated blood back to the heart. So remember that. On normal occasions, arteries carry oxygenated blood at high pressures. And on normal occasions, veins carry deoxygenated blood at low pressure. So the answer for 28 is A, artery. Oh, here's a little confusing question that you'd have to read properly. So everybody read 29 and answer. Read it carefully, please, and answer it. And not just this question. Whoa.
A.
Oh, and here 2 more A's, not from the same people. And not just because never mind, it don't make sense now. Which flow diagram correctly shows the direction of flow of carbon dioxide as it passes through the respiratory system into the air outside the body? So that is asking from inside to out. So carbon dioxide, that's the reason it's deoxygenated. So veins would carry blood, deoxygenated blood with more carbon dioxide. So what part of the heart?
Right side of the heart.
Right.
Through what vessel?
Veins.
Pulmonary vessel.
What vessel brings deoxygenated blood to the right side of the heart?
Pulmonary artery.
No, that carries deoxygenated blood to the lungs. Starts with a V and a C.
Vena cava.
There you go. So, anyway, back to the question. So the answer is A. You have to look at from inside to out. So that deoxygenated blood with a lot of carbon dioxide would go up to the artery. The carbon dioxide would diffuse into the alveoli, out the bronchioles, up the bronchi, through the trachea, and then the nasal passage. So the answer is 8 for 29. Okay, folks, 10 more questions to go. The equation shown, before I say that, there's a structure that is, let me see. There's a structure that is right behind the trachea. What is that structure called?
The
Esophagus.
Mommy? Yeah, it is the esophagus. All right, Turkey. The equation shown represents the process of respiration in the body cells and tissues. Something plus oxygen will give water, energy, and something. Let's hear them answer.
B.
X is glucose, Y is carbon dioxide. Glucose and oxygen will give water and carbon dioxide. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
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 Yes, sir.
So that's the answer. Which of these structures contain vocal cords? Singers.
Larynx.
Larynx.
D.
Right. So I hear some people say larynx. Larynx, larynx, anyone. When you write it down, that's when you know if the answer right or not. So what is the epiglottis? What does it do?
It's a flap of tissue that cuts off the airway while you eat. Swallowing food.
Right. Right. And the esophagus does what?
That's the food tube
To carry food where?
to the stomach.
There's a little valve just before the esophagus reaches the stomach. What's that valve called?
the splinter thing.
Yeah, you have the right word. Sphincter.
Sphincter
But which
muscle.
sphincter? Yeah, which sphincter? The cardiac sphincter. Or the lower esophageal sphincter. That's the reason. Because they call it the cardiac sphincter because it's very close to the heart. That's why when people have That's why when people have that's why they call gastric reflux when food comes back up into the esophagus. They call it heartburn because people think that it's their heart that's burning, but it's not. It's when the acid from the food in the stomach goes back up into the esophagus. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So, how many chromosomes are found in a sex cell? Math.
23.
3.
Why is it 20?
23.
Because
Because when the male and the female have fertilization, all two of their chromosomes have to make 46 to make a human zygote.
Very good. Everybody understand that?
yes, sir.
So every other cell in the body, except for a male sex cell, and in a female's body, every cell in her body, except for her sex cell, has 46 chromosomes. Only her sex cell has 23. What is the name of her sex cell?
Ovary.
Oval cell.
Oval cell. I don't think I ever heard it like that.
Oval cell.
Oval, okay. And in the male, what's it called?
Sperm cell.
Okay, so the answer for number 32 is B.
B.
33. The diagram represents a stage of pregnancy in the human female. Name the stage shown in the diagram. Question number 1, before you answer this question. Where does somebody saying something? Where does fertilization take place?
Fallopian tube.
What is another name for the fallopian tube?
Oviduct.
Okay. Is that anywhere here on this diagram?
No.
Everybody get that? Fertilization takes place over here in these tubes. And what would this thing be called?
Ovary.
Right. So they would release an ovum or an egg into there. And this area here is where the sperm cell finds the oocyte and is fertilized up here. So what is this called over here?
Zygote.
Or what is this process called? You see how it's attaching to the inner surface of this? Implantation. Good. So name the stage shown in the diagram. That stage would be, so up here after fertilization, you would have zygote. Up here.
Embryo.
Would it be an embryo? Yes, it will. The answer for this is embryo. 33 is embryo. And after it starts growing like hands and legs, then it would be a fetus. And after the child is born, it will be called
Infant.
Wow. All right, good. So the answer for 33 is
Embryo.
A, embryo. Which structure in the human body produces sex cells?
Testes.
Testis.
What could another answer be if another answer was there?
Ovary.
Everybody agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good. So this is answer for 34 is D, testis. Please write these questions. I mean answers and
So
questions.
right, you got me.
Pardon? Okay. The diagram shows a part of the nervous system. Which part is shown?
Central nervous system.
Why you say central nervous system?
Because it has the brain and spinal cord.
So what is the other thing? If it's not the central nervous system, what would it be?
Peripheral nervous system.
There might have 2 more questions. We could go over the thing. I can't even hear no more.
Okay, so the answer here is B, central nervous system. That's the brain and the brain stem and almost spinal cord. So the answer would be CNS, which is B, 35, B. What is the name of the largest portion of the brain?
Cerebrum.
Cerebellum.
A.
The largest portion of the brain is all up here, which is the cerebrum. Cerebellum is this little stripe. And the medulla is here. Anyway. Which organ is connected to the brain?
Which organ is connected? Ear.
Eyes voice. You said
Yeah, air.
Yes, the answer is yeah. Artery. What does that sound like? What does the word auditory sound like? Artery.
Audio.
It refers or it exact audio. So audio is sound. So it has to be something to do here. If I were to say optic, what does that sound like?
Eye.
I.
Right. Good eye. If I say artery,
Nose.
I never learned that in olfactory, the senses.
Just gonna have.
Yeah, time.
Hi, sorry, I was talking to myself. Y'all could see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We on the last couple of questions.
Praise the Lord.
Which method of contraception used in females cuts and ties the ovum?
D.
D.
What is contraception?
Prevent having children.
Right. The prevention of having. So for a male, what kind of contraception would he use?
Condom.
Vasectomy.
Whoa. We'll start with condom. The condom is what the male vasectomy. Vasectomy would work too, yeah.
Yeah.
Double vasectomy. But we wouldn't say that first. So we started with condom. Females also have condoms.
Yes, they do.
They also use the pill, and then rhythm is just a timing. But the answer for this, like you said, D, tubal ligation. Ligation means to cut. In which structure in females did the fertilized egg grow and develop?
Uterus.
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 Correct. Why not fallopian tube?
That'll be an ectopic pregnancy.
Oh,
Ectopic pregnancy.
oh. Say that. She doesn't say it again. But there is a condition when the eggs in the fallopian tube develops. It's called ectopic pregnancy. It's fatal. It don't never worked, but it's supposed to go into and develop. Where is the cervix?
Below the uterus.
Uterus. Separating what?
Separating the vaginal canal from the uterus.
Really gonna be. This is a terrible drawing. We keep getting knocked off. We on the last question, Zoom. Some patience. Last question. The suffering from a painful around virus. That's not a good thing, Fred. Which sexually transmitted infection has symptoms
Herpes.
of blisters around the genitals. Herpes. How could Fred prevent such a case?
Condom.
Or
Abstinence.
exactly, keep it in his pants altogether. Or you can use a condom. So condoms are for prevention of STIs, also the prevention of getting the female pregnant. So that's the end of paper 1 to I think next one is on Thursday. If you all enjoyed this, if you didn't enjoy it, I see that there are some smart people in the Bahamas getting ready to be doctors. Well, this is the end of here. So thank you for listening. And I hope you have a good night. Hope I helped. And I hope you guys wrote down the answers that you could come back and look. Thank you for listening, and you guys have a good night.
You too.
Thank you. Thank you.
You too. You too. Bye.
Thank you. Alyssa Higgs, thank you for your assistance. Thank you all for listening. All right, I'm about to end the meeting. So see you all Thursday. Bye.
Bye.